Morning. What business are you in? Take care of bills, business. Would be
What business are you in? What's your answer? What comes to you? What do you say? Think about it. What business are you in? Then the next question is, what business are you really in? There's what you think you do, and then there's what those you're doing it to think you do. What business are you really in? Did you go from strategy to state, strategy to story? You're bigger than strategy. What business are you really in? Start talking to yourself. Ask yourself, what business am I really in? Is value part of what you do? I provide value. At what level? Where does the value go? How long does the value last? Can you impact somebody for a lifetime? Then what business are you really in? My business allows me to provide lifetime tools to enhance somebody's existence from now until they're forever. What business are you in? What business are you really in? So in your business, have things changed in the last months, 5 months, 6 months, 12 months? New techniques, new services, ability to provide more value. So now the question is, what business do you need to be in 6 months from now? The great Wayne Gretzky said, when asked, "What makes you so good?" He said, "I skate to where the puck is going to be." Where is your business going to be in 6 months? Many of you, I've seen some dramatic changes in 6 months. Many of you weren't ready for the growth. Were surprised at how easy it happened. So now, December 1, what are you prepared for? What's new? What's gone? What's bigger? What's better? What business are you in? What business are you really in? What are you preparing for right now in your business? 6 months from now. What skill or talent do you need to focus on to arrive at that 6 month success. Prepared, ready, ahead of the game. If your business is people, and building teams, then learning how to keep teams together might be value, might be something you'd want to learn. If acquiring more customers easily is something you desire, then marketing and messaging. You are responsible for your own success. Everything is thought. Everything is your responsibility. What's done is done. What's available is unlimited. So if you have unlimited possibility, what business are you in? Don't use your past to gauge your future. What's the unlimited possibility? Not your possibility or capability or skill set. What's possible? Any anxiety you're feeling is because you're trying to take your past and drop it into the future. Let that go. Let that go. Take a big breath. Let it out. And simply ask, what's possible? Ask yourself, I'm possible of what? Are you possible of more? Then you're the only one keeping you from it. So what's possible? Maybe what's possible is I'm in the business of more. I'm in the business of more. More what? More wellness, more finance, more relationships, more peace, more action, more success. Sometimes our titles or labels aren't transferable. I'm a public speaker. Nobody wants that. They want to be comfortable in front of an audience. They want to be able to have their message heard. I'm in the business of helping passionate people share their story with love and joy and positive results. The business I'm really in I help people find their purpose with such intensity they can finally say yes to themselves. What business do I need to be in 6 months? Building a community of people who understand that last statement so well that we can serve hundreds of people every month through a community of like-minded individuals willing to say yes to their possibility and no to procrastination. What business are you in? What business are you really in? And how are you properly preparing and positioning yourself for 6 months from now?
Wide awake while the world is sound asleep, and too afraid of what might show up while you're dreaming. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. And every day you try to pick up all the pieces, all the memories that somehow never leave you. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. 'Cause there's a kind of love that God only knows. There's a kind of love, there's a kind of love. You keep a cover over every single secret. So afraid if someone saw them they would leave. But somebody sees you. Somebody will never leave you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. 'Cause there's a kind of love that God only knows. There's a kind of love.
All right. Hey, good morning, everybody.
God only knows.
How y'all doing on this Monday? Monday. It's good to see you all. What's shaking? What business are you in? What business are you really in? And what business do you need to be in 6 months? You probably heard those before. And if you haven't heard it, your brain's a little squirrely right now. And if you did hear it, you're like, I need to really focus on that again. Or not, maybe not. What'd you hear? What'd you learn? What'd you like? What's your takeaways, take with yous, right? What's your to-go message you heard? Oh, come on. This is where you get to rewrite the story. You get to say what you really want. Sometimes it's you speaking that changes everything. Just saying. Just saying. All righty then. Going once.
Wait.
I'll go.
Okay. Hey, listen.
You go, Luis.
Go ahead, Louise.
I heard this very differently this time because
I said it completely differently.
yeah, no, not at all. I heard it completely differently because of tools that I've picked up. Thank you to you. It wasn't a big question mark. It was there's a process, and giving up, I think it has had to do with saying no to acting like I don't know what to do because I didn't ask, versus you have an answer and this is fun. So, and it had to do with the other evening when we were talking about email lists and building and process and the amazing revelation in 8 minutes, and everything was in place. It was just a matter of doing it. So I'm just letting you know that I've heard this completely differently. Have I changed? I now feel like I have answers and I have a path, and to be where I want to be in 6 months, this is the path they need to take. It was
Awesome.
so that's the best I got for you right now.
Why would you do it?
Why would I? Why?
Why would you want to know what business you're in and what business you're really in and what business you need to be in? Why did today make the knowing possible? Damn it. I was almost out. I was almost done with the conversation.
You're reading my mind.
I'm not raising my hand ever again. Somebody else is going first.
Ask that question again.
So today it showed up differently.
Yes.
Same conversation. It's the same book I've said before. And today you heard it differently. Why did you hear it differently? This is the ladies and gentlemen, this right here, when your people, whether you're building a business or you've got clients and customers, when your customers say, your business partners say, your clients say, I understand it now. Very few people on the planet ever ask, so why did you hear it differently? Because we know. How many of you have ever told your parents something they wanted to hear? When it wasn't true. I doubt that's ever happened. So now, because I'm going, all right, I'm out. And you're like, no, I'll sacrifice myself. And you did hear it differently. I'm not questioning that. But my job as a mentor is to get you to do things you didn't know you could do. A coach would say, awesome, great. We'll be doing this for 6 months now. You'll try to be figuring out what you're doing. No, you've got the answers right now. If you had awareness right now, you've got a new answer. Listen, it may not be the best answer, but I bet you'll foul the ball out of the park and you'll get on base eventually. So what's the reason? Why do you think it sits different now? When there's one main reason, if you have no answer, and you can always ask for help. You can always reach out to a friend, right? If you got three, you got 3 lifelines.
Well, I truly believe that it has everything to do with the fact that I asked for help.
Yeah, but you didn't do anything with it. I love you. I love you. I love you. We can all ask for help, but we got to take action.
Well, but that's exactly what I asked for help, and then had an action plan after the conversation.
Excellent.
That,
how many of the bullets have been implemented?
3.
Okay. Out of how many?
48.
Okay. So could you have done one more? Could you have done 4? Yes.
I suppose, yes, of course.
Yeah, of course you could.
I could have done 48 in one day.
If it was important. Not priority. There's a difference between priority and important. So why did today sit differently? The big overarching answers, because you said to yourself, I've had enough. We try to label it all. It's just, I don't know what it is. I'm just freaking done. I've had enough. And I'm gonna step into the unknown so fast, so quick. I may wind up with, listen, it's like hugging a porcupine.
Well, you know what keeps coming up is I'm going to do this because I don't care what others think.
Right. So how long will it take to really believe that?
The longer I do it, it gets easier and easier and easier.
Right. But so why does there have to be a tapering off of what people think, aka addiction to approval?
New habit, just keep moving forward. I'm tapering off, boy, that is stuck in my head. Huh.
Yeah.
Am I
Don't taper
tapering
off,
off?
rip the Band-Aid
I
off.
feel like I've gone cold turkey. It's just I keep having to remind myself. You quit this. You quit. You quit.
Mark Twain said quitting smoking was the easiest thing he'd ever done. He did it over 200 times.
Well, I understand the quitting smoking thing. That I did quote. And then this is, once I decided, I did it and it was over. It was done. It was not
Right.
a problem anymore, but it wasn't because it had to do with, this is nasty.
So isn't it nasty being broke, poor, and upset and frustrated?
Absolutely.
And
And
get mad? Then understand it's the same thing. You got to get mad. You got to say enough's enough. And you have to have a conversation with that part of you that always shows up and goes, enough's enough. There's not one level of success that if you really, what do they call it, hunkering down, if you hunker down for the next 3 months, there's not a level of success you would achieve that you haven't already had. I don't care how hard you work and how amazing and fat, you won't reach a new level till 90 days out. And by then you'll have enough evidence. You go, oh my God, I didn't even know I was doing that.
so this is building evidence, and that's what I'm doing.
Yep. So are you, which
I don't care what other people think.
Which little piggy's house are you building?
I'm building the brick house on the rock.
Okay. So now you have to ask, is what I'm about to go do a brick rock or stick?
Right. That's a good question.
Cool. Thank you. Y'all should send some hearts and love to Louise for always having the courage to have her skin ripped off.
Hey, nothing better than new skin, though, you know.
Love it.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you.
What'd you learn? What'd you like?
Moments continue. Oh, I learned that it is so freeing to not be addicted, not be, just to continue to, it's just so freeing to just say, this is happening. I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm not asking anybody's opinion. I ask for help, but I'm not for an opinion.
Awesome.
And I'm not hurting anybody. This is for good. I'm using it for good.
Love it. Go say that in a mirror. See how it feels.
I was just looking at myself when I did that.
Cool. I love it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You are welcome. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Michael Muzak.
So my answer to your question, what business are you in? What came to me today, because we heard this question before, but I feel like I was in a different state of mind than I was today.
Yep.
So, I mean, I believe the business I'm in is becoming valuable to valuable people.
Yep.
And just like becoming more valuable to this team that I'm on now.
So what business are you really in?
Well, I want to say building people, but I feel like it's more than that.
Well, it's got to dovetail off of your first one. And I agree. Your first one is providing value to valuable people. So what business are you really in? Learning the value that they don't have right now.
Okay.
Right? If you're providing value to valuable people, how do you become valuable to somebody else? You provide them something they can't get anyplace else.
Yeah.
So now you have to go study what is the value that you can provide that nobody else can to those people.
Well, Well, I can study relationships. I think that's
Yeah,
some
sure.
angle
Yeah.
I can bring that they can't, right? They got the developer mindset and
Yeah.
I got the people mindset.
You can bring recognition that they have no clue on.
Yeah. Now, in terms of recognition, I know we talked about this, but can you just help me, like, remind me, like recognizing just the group members for like speaking up, or do I make a post that's like, hey, like, have you guys made any sales from the software?
So recognition, both up and down, right? So that's the key. Most people don't know how to recognize up. They know how to recognize down, but they don't know how to recognize up. So one of the first things I do is I'd send a message to the founders, the creators, and say, there's a lot of people that are a part of this community that'll never get a chance to say thank you to you. I just want to tell you thank you. Thank you for letting me be that intermediary. Thank you for letting me be part of that. Because I get to see it every day. You guys may not. And I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
So that's up. And down is our software isn't about profit. Our software is about potential. And I want to thank each of you for being a potential, putting more potential into your life, because when you get the money, you're going to go do things with it. We may do some silly stuff with it, but your goal is to create a profit to keep a promise.
I'm going to repeat that for once. To make sure I got it. To the founder, like, thank you guys. I know a lot of people aren't going to be able to say thank you for giving them a vehicle that can help them make a profit. And so I just want to be first and say thank you. And then when I'm recognizing the people down, it would be, hey, thank you for your potential, right? Because, you know, you might be able to make some extra money, and who knows what you're going to do with it, but at least you're going to help, like, keep your promises. Does that sound about right?
It's close.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you write it out later, when you get stationary and write it out, send it to me and we'll tweak it.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Cool. Well, yeah, that's the business I'm in then.
So what business do you need to be in 6 months?
Well, I think the business we need to be in the next 6 months is becoming a one-stop shop. Like, you come to us and we're like the gateway drug to Amazon.
Excellent. What's the thing they're shopping for? If you're a one-stop shop, come up with the list of 30 things they're shopping for.
Okay.
And then be the Sam's, be the Costco, not this Walmart. Be the Costco. Costco people spend an average of $75,000 a year at a Costco. Their average income is, their average income is 75,000, where Walmart's is 38,000. So you can provide value. You just need to decide what's the base they're coming to you with.
Yeah.
So what's the high-end list of things that they look for?
Well, they're looking for more softwares.
If you knew, you'd be doing it already. So you need to work on that one. This is where we tell ourselves a fib, where we go, no, I know, having a clue. Because based upon the value you're going to provide, your understanding 6 months from now is going to be so much bigger and better that it's going to be, you're the one-stop shop of value. What are your customers' value? Maybe a survey would go out for that.
Okay. Post a survey out. Hey, what do you value most in your Amazon business?
Well, you could, but that's not the business you're in. You're in the business of providing value. See how they get mixed up already?
Okay. Yeah, I've been thinking of this question for almost a year and a half now, and it's a really deep question.
It is, but it can be played. You can lay the question on the surface of the lake, and those who understand it will decide how deep they want to go.
Yeah. I will say though, in terms of like where do you got to be in the next 6 months, like I did help design an app this weekend. I was like
Mhm.
really deep in that, and we made like a whole new like profit calculator that people are gonna be looking for, and we're giving that away for free. So
Don't
that
say free.
was part of
You're
no
giving it
fee.
away for no fee.
Mhm.
It's normally a $99 app. Our goal is to get it in the hands of so many people that it's a no fee. Don't ever say free.
Okay.
Damn it, I'm trying to park and I got to listen to this and I'm trying to figure out all this stuff and my brain's about to explode.
Yeah. I got you. But this app's gonna be big. I think we're gonna launch it today or
it's-
this week.
Tell them it's not free.
Mhm.
It's no fee, $99, and put the slash through it on any marketing page and say it's no fee. Right now for those, because it does the FOMO.
Yeah. Yeah. We gotta, there was someone on our team that was like, I made us put no fee, and they were like, no, we gotta change it to free. And like, I gotta like let them know, like, it's gotta be no fee.
It say, listen, is there costs that went into this?
Yeah, a lot.
So then it's not free. It's not even free to us, the ones that are trying to create it. So if
Mhm.
we give it away as free, what do most people think free, the value of free is?
Not much.
They don't understand the value they're getting. So let's just make it no fee. Let's put a value to it. And from our bottom line, from a financial standpoint, every one of those that went away, it's a marketing piece. Instead of PPC, pay per click, we're giving away this calculator, which is the same as a PPC, which would have cost to us bottom line. So let's put an internal value of $5 that every time it's downloaded, we get to say we just bought a customer for $5.
Okay.
And we have a value associated with that as a company, because otherwise, if we don't have a value to the things we're giving away, we're going to go broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't we give the software away?
Because it's valuable.
You see why people hire me as a consultant?
Yeah. Every day. No, these are great points though, because this app it's going to be huge, and it's so valuable. Like if I show you this app, it's like I've never seen someone do what this guy done, like the developers, and
Mm-hmm.
it genuinely should be $100 app. And so like definitely need to let people know that this
Why
is
do they want to
$100
give it? Why do they want to give it away?
as a lead magnet.
To do
We
what?
want to build our email list and phone list.
Okay,
So
to do what?
to get everyone in the one-stop shop,
Right, to do what?
to
Don't avoid it. To make money.
make money. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
to sell a product.
yeah.
So it's valuable. If it's is there any kids on here? If it's a crappy product, I was going to say the other one. If it's a crappy product, it doesn't matter if it's free. And if it's
Mhm.
free, they don't see the value in hanging around something. Wow, this is free. I don't even know how to use this. But if you say, listen, for the next 90 days, we want to absolutely explode our community and bring tremendous value to so many people, many of which may never decide to go the next step. But you have to know there's a next step. And this calculator allows you to be able to begin to calculate your success model inside of softwares available that provide you profit from Amazon. We just happen to be the one giving it to you. So we think it might make sense for you to use our software as well. But what if you could spend $100 to find out what's truly profitable and how you could create significant income as a side gig for you and your family? Would you spend $100 to find something that minimizes your time, takes away the questions, and gives you confidence to have more of what you want?
Mhm.
You've spent $100 on a cigar before. You've spent $100 on a bottle of wine before. You spent $100 on getting your car detailed. See, this is
Oh,
storytelling.
Yeah, I think I'm just writing that down.
Sure you
These-
are.
The storytelling part I could definitely improve on because I'm doing a lot of demos and stuff
Mhm.
and telling a lot of facts and
Right. When you get nervous, you go back to your default mode network.
mhm.
Michael's the engineer. Let me tell you why it works.
Yeah. So,
It's all
well,
good.
thank
This
you.
is experience.
Mhm.
My daddy said it's experience you can't buy, but you're paying for. And you'll either cut your teeth or cut a check.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you for that, Sean. I really appreciate your help.
You're welcome. Mr. Brad Chambers, you had your hand up, but you may be busy now. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways?
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Diane.
How are you today?
Outstanding. I got a great picture of Al and Kayla together.
Yes. Yes, they had actually it was funny because Kayla got there early and she goes, I think I'm early. Here I see the board and everything, but there's no one around. And she runs into Al.
Shocking.
And then she stayed after and talked to them for quite a while. So she was listening to you, even though she wasn't on that call. It must have been through me. No, this is really good this morning. And thank you, Michael, for that masterclass. Because that's what we have to do is ask more questions. And I had the Rotary Club here yesterday. We had our end of year, and our area governor came and she presented us with a gold award. And we've been working hard all year, but we didn't think we made that level. And so it was a really exciting time because everybody was, gee, we didn't know we did that. You know, we didn't really think we got there. And you talk about recognition and working hard to accomplish. So it's really interesting how that all happens when you put your mind to it and you work hard towards something that it gets recognized. So, and that's what I'm doing this week. My calendar is really full. So I'm hoping to,
So why is your calendar full?
because I think it's time I get myself into action and real action.
Well, there you go.
Yes, and Al mentioned me on their global call yesterday, which was everybody sending me texts saying, oh, Al mentioned you. And I'm like, oh, I didn't make it to the call because I had a function at my home. But yeah, isn't it? It's just funny the way things work. So
What's that phrase? Have friends who talk about you in rooms you're not in.
mhm.
That's significant. Have friends who speak of you in rooms you're not in.
Mhm.
We could
Okay.
define it a little more, speak positively of you. But I think the word friends implies that.
Yes. No, that's it's interesting. And I know you say that all the time and you always ask us what business we're in. And I've been speaking up a little more, I think, also. And when people say, oh, what do you do? And those kinds of things. So, and even my husband said that to me. He says, geez, you just said it and that was it, kind of thing. You didn't give a whole bunch of information. You just gave a little sentence and
So do this for me. You ready to take it to the next level?
mhm.
Take your hand away from your mouth
Okay.
and put your hands out like this. So they're seen on the camera and say, and then tell me what you just said. What do you do? No, keep your hands up there. Keep your hands up there. This is to create new neural pathways.
Okay. I'm trying to
See how? Go ahead, do it.
Um,
Hands up. What do you speak about?
well, she asked me what I did. And I
Right.
said, I'm in the health and wellness realm, and I
Right.
empower people to live their best lives.
There you go. How's that feel?
Better.
That's okay. You put your heads down now. But you see the difference because when you started to tell the story of what you do, Diane, you went
Mhm.
like this. Shoulders came in, hand came here, and listen, from 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when you jumped on the call and would never turn your camera on, to now speaking and teaching and training. I just want you to know that here it went like this. Al was there and he called me and it was Kayla and it was this, that, and then, but I think that I wanted all of a sudden. So shoulders back. I know that's right. 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 Be like the guy Tool Time, Tim Time, whatever it was, Tool Time.
Done, Tim, yeah.
Right. And so, but again, just feel this and pay attention because that's the default mode network. Right. And the hands went like this, and all of a sudden, and I'm like, okay, you're talking about it. There wasn't any stutter, yet it was, I'm only telling a couple of people about it. I'm not telling the world. That's a riggedy, rackety, right? That's why I keep my camera off. But I could also hear it in the tone of your voice. So you can't hide from me.
I know I can't. And a lot of people are looking for a cause. So when I tell them about the cause, they are interested. So
there you go. And that's how sometimes when you're in groups, right? If suppose you get to speak again, say in my 26 years, granted M5M hadn't been around that long. In my 26 years of my profession, in the last 10, when they started a foundation for allowing us to serve children and feed children, I've fed over, my personal team has fed over 14,000 children. And it didn't cost me a penny because my company said, you do this, we'll do that. Yes. Hello, Debbie. And
that's what, with Rotary, we were talking about looking fast forward, because I'm going to be the vice president this term. And we're looking to do projects that are bigger and have more impact. And I know we had a lady here from Turkey. She was visiting, came to our club, and she said they teamed up with kids around the world. And that's who our company, we supply the nutritional package to go with the beans and peas and those kinds of things. So, I was saying to our president, I said, we should really look into this and see how we could do something with the breakfast programs here locally, because we want to do something local and international. And, so that could be something that we can work on and look at making a difference here and using the company's fighter blend that will help children nutritionally. So yeah. So we just got the wheels rolling.
Love it.
Yes. So thank you for constantly asking us the question and getting us to move.
I can promise you the way you'll answer that question 6 months from now will be completely different. And this is for everybody. What business are you in? When you understand, when you grasp the complexity and the diversity of the business you're in, your life will change forever. Love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So my question is, why are some questions harder to answer than others?
It's
like,
called...
sometimes when you're asked a question for the first time and you just have like a feeling, an intuitive feeling of the answer. And then other times you're asked a question for the first time and you just don't know. And then you have an answer, but you're like, is this the answer? I'm not sure. So I'm curious.
The difference is who you're answering the question for. Are you answering it for you or answering it for them? Answering it for them, you don't want to be wrong. Answering it for you, it's a start. And none of us want to say we're starting. That's why you've heard me say 1,000 times when somebody says, I don't know, I go, I know, but if you did know, what would it be? And then they give an answer. Now, it may morph as they deliver the answer. We've got to start with something. Could you imagine if you were to turn on your GPS on your phone and say, take me home? It says, great, where are you? And you're like, I ain't telling you. I ain't telling you nothing. You got to figure it out. And GPS goes, screw you. We ain't getting a home because I don't know where we're starting from. So a lot of times what happens is that we get into the social media drives us today. Good morning, millionaires. When's the last time you made $1 million? When's the last time you hung around millionaires? I know, but I want to entice people to believe that they can be millionaires. That's called injected values, and it shuts them down. Imagine if you're probably pretty good at yoga, right?
Yeah.
If you and I'd said, okay, I'm older than you, not by much, but I'm older than you. And if we sat down on a yoga mat and I started to do downward facing dog and it looked like fat guy laying on a counter, you'd be like, you're really a yoga instructor? Well, I know all of the names and I know upward facing cat and this word, that word, right? And just because I know the nomenclature doesn't mean I can do it. Just because I can say millionaire doesn't mean I got it. And that's the thing that most people can't understand. Most people don't walk themselves through. I can promise you this, somebody who's made $1 million and lost it doesn't tell anybody they're a millionaire. It just happens that way. Do you run around all day long going, I'm a good yoga instructor?
No,
No.
should I?
No, when people ask you what you do, you say, you know how they say being flexible adds years to your life? Every day I get to add years to people's lives. Well, how do you do that? Oh, I do it a variety of ways. I teach in the physical sense. I teach it in the spiritual sense. I teach it in the mental sense. I add years to people's lives with thoughts and actions and movement. It sounds different than I'm a yoga instructor at ABC company. Dang it. But I'm always about the story. I'm always about the story. I'm never about the title. I sat down with a young woman, 27 years old. You've heard me talk about it just recently. But when I started throwing out the titles that I have, her eyes about fell out of her head. I said, you only know me as the guy who owns some sheep and has got 30 acres and it's a place where you can go and just be alone. I said, that's all you know me for. I said, but let me tell you why I have all that stuff. 5-time best-selling author, stood on stages in 30 plus countries, translated in over 40 different languages. I help CEOs have more of what they want, less of what they don't. My sales trainings and teachings have been responsible probably over the last 20 years for $2 billion in sales, which equates to 500 million, 600 million in commissions that I've put in people's pockets. And yet I'm a farmer trying to figure out how to feed chicken without. Right? I don't need those titles until it's needed to add credibility. But if I'm not adding credibility, the reason they'll sitting down with me is because they know there's something special. Sometimes you've got to give that analytical mind the reason to say, oh, well, that makes sense why he's so special. I get it. So when people look at you, they hear you, they instantly form an opinion. And when you say I'm a yoga instructor, they go, well, of course, that's why you look the way you do and feel. But you just started like 3 months ago, 2 months ago, a month ago. And you're like, I wasn't doing that to get to where I'm at. I've been doing all these other things. So say I add minutes and years to people's lives, depending upon how much they want.
And what about answering the question, what do you do when you do many different things?
Well, I don't do many different things. I do one thing. I add years to people's lives. I find different vehicles. I know how to drive them all, but the goal is always at the same goal. The end of the destination is always the same, to bring more value to people on a daily basis, yearly basis, on a decade basis. Some people don't want to. Do you want to ride public transportation? Do you want to get on a bus, or would you rather be picked up in an Uber?
I'd rather be picked up.
So I pick people up in their flexibility Uber, in their life increasing Uber. Does it matter what car shows up as long as the driver's polite and it gets you there safely? So it doesn't matter many different things. You've been in many different Ubers. You're like, no, I'm only getting in that Uber. Make sure you come back with the Saab. I'm only getting in Saabs that are green. Well, there's only like 3 of them in Miami. I'll wait. Nobody wants to wait. See, I have a story for when anybody throws up the wrench. It's because my DMP is in place. What do you mean I do? You ask the question. I heard you. I heard what do you mean do many different things? Well, you're in trading, you're in this, you're in that. No, I'm not. Those are ways to add more years to people's lives through financial freedom, flexible freedom. My apologies for not being clearer. Oh, no. I just didn't understand. Thank you. Thank you for stating the obvious. You don't understand. And that's my job, is to help you understand it better. That's a riggedy. How's that feel?
Good. I really liked your answer about being like, when you're answering a question, who are you answering for? That was very, like, a big takeaway for me.
And so when they ask you, why do you do many different things? You're answering it for them. Now, if you answer it for you, because I found that people need variety. Because if one thing worked, wouldn't we all be doing just the one thing? Now, listen, I'm not going to help people how to construct a 47-story building. I don't know how to do any of that. I just got good at what I'm good at. And there's a variety of things I like to do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Brad Chambers.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Stepped away from my phone earlier. I heard you say my name, but I couldn't get to it fast enough.
Well, I saw that. And when you turned the camera off, I figured that, but just in case.
Well, this morning when you were talking about what are you in the business of? Man, the first time I read that question, I had it all lined out. I was figuring it out, writing it all out. And then I go to the next question. What business are you really in? Damn it. And all I had was the same thing, Sean. I didn't have any right. 6 months later, it's a totally different statement. Like, it means so much more to me now. Just getting in a place to where getting in state totally changed my world, man. I was in a wreck when I met you, Sean, and I just look at my calendar. On the 2nd of next month, it'll be 3 years. I had 4 years ahead, but 3 years ago I met you. I was in a really a rut that I didn't even realize I was in. And that weekend when you gave me a book to read, is it The Science of Getting Rich? Yep. Listened to it on the way home from Arkansas for about 4 hours. And within a month, I had changed jobs. It was just the vehicle to get me to where I'm at today, but made the switch, and it was a lot of work, Sean, putting it in, but work was recognizing where to put my effort, not as much as the effort. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I felt like just getting in a place to where I quit. I'd stop trying to strategize. And then I go to my next job I was there for a year and a half. And it's funny because Sean was, you'd tell me, right, what you like about what you do now and what you would like about Ryerson, make my list. And it was the right step to take. I knew it was. So I go into a year and a half there and things started switching. But the difference was, instead of getting into a negative mindset of, I left a job that I was at for 20 years, another one for 6 months, now I want a year and a half, and I'm already wanting to move, get all this self-talk coming in that's not in your favor. And Sean's like, listen to the self-talk. This is done. I am able. It's the same thing over and over and over. But I did it, Sean. Every morning on my way to the gym, I'd listen to self-talk. And then I just started to where it was not odd to me to say the things that I was hearing. I started being able to speak that. And I'm going through this real fast, but I've never really shared what happened and what made that switch for me. But it was just, now looking at it from, where I'm at now, it's so cool to see how all of the pieces were just falling in place because I was allowing it and letting you, Sean, guide me. Even though sometimes I questioned it. I didn't, not in a bad way.
Questioned it. Questioned it.
Not in a way where I thought you didn't know what you're talking about, but maybe if there was an easier way that I could do it, maybe. I still have a few things on my list I need to do that I've been through. I've done them, by the way. Just I need to step it up. Anyways, so I get to a place where I recognize that where I'm at with Ryerson wasn't where I needed to stay, and so I wrote in my journal that I'm grateful for the new opportunities, the right opportunities, the doors that are opening. Working for a nonprofit organization where I can actually help people, because there was just nothing to me cool about saying I'm a steel salesman. I help change lives, it just wasn't for me, Sean. I know you can help people regardless of what you're doing, but to me, I wanted more.
Yep.
And so I was sent a message out one morning. Well, after I was meditating, I just felt to take inspired action. So I text message of a friend who's a competitor, but we've stayed friends over the years, and said, hey, I'm on the market. I'm looking for an opportunity if you know anybody that's looking. So about 30 minutes later, she texted me and said, you'll be getting a call from a guy. He's a headhunter. He's asking me if I'm interested. I told him about you. I like where I'm at, and I gave him your name. He'll probably be calling you. He called me within 1 hour and said, can you come up here right now and interview? I said, yeah, give me 15 minutes. I'll get dressed up. So I got dressed up, went down there. He liked me. He said, this guy right here on my shoulder tells me you're the guy. And he reminded me so much of Sean. He just was, everything he was saying was like, oh my God, this is great. He's like, you have to, when you go in there for this interview, just have a servant's heart. Just go in there with gratitude, just thankful for their time. And he was like giving me all this stuff that I already had my notebooks from Sean. And so then I get the job, and now my job is people, Sean. That's literally when people ask me what I do, I make connections. I go into manufacturers, and if they're needing, a certification, I help them hook them up with a guy who can do that. I have a guy, and for those people, I can be more than just a steel salesman. I can bring them solutions, bring them answers, bring them, and be the servant that I wanted to be, that I wrote about. Look back through my journal and just thankful for my job and what I'm doing, and looking at the date, and it was before my hire date, Sean. I was writing about those things before they even happened, and it happened. So what you're saying is 100% right. The business I am in is people, and that may change in the way that I'm in there for people. But right now, my job is making the world a better place, and doing everything that I can to bring another smile to the universe. And just living in that, man, is pretty awesome. I'll shut up, but I'll tell you, over the weekend, Heidi and I, this was so funny. I was just sitting there grinning. It was so funny. So I went to the gym on, I think it was Saturday. What night did I text you, Sean? I think Saturday night or Friday night. One of those nights. Anyways, guy at the gym, he's a door greeter. He's a retired guy. He's a drummer for one of the local bands, and he and I have kind of hit it off. He's probably an old guy, like 50, something like that. I'm kidding, Sean. Anyways, he said he's going over to hear this band play, and it was a jazz, like R&B kind of music, and the bass player was phenomenal. And that was why he was going, because we both like drums and bass and the same genre of music. And so I told Heidi, I was like, hey, this band's playing over at the casino by the house. I would like to go. She's like, yeah, babe, we don't have any tickets. I'm like, it's fine. We'll get upgraded. It's fine. We had no tickets to go to this concert. I was like, it's fine. We'll get upgraded. So we go over there, and so we walk up to the booth, and we're like, we're here for the concert. And she's like, do you have any tickets? And it's like, no, figured you might could help us with that. She goes, well, are you members of this casino? And I was like, no. And she goes, well, all you gotta do is sign up, give us your email address, and I'll give you some tickets. I was like, okay, we could do that. So we signed up, and they gave us these tickets. And so we walked in, and Heidi's just shaking her head at me, and I'm just smiling. And this worker lady, we handed her tickets. We got these tickets. And so she said, oh, okay. And she's trying to tell us, she goes, never mind, it's just be easier. Just follow me. So we start walking up. We're walking right up to the front. And then she takes a right. I'm like, no, we're supposed to be over here. So she goes around, and we go right up to the front. We're on the 5th row, dude. Like, I'm sitting right in front of the bass player. Like, I can see every note he's playing. And here's the cool part. The guy that told me about the concert, my friend, Heidi sat right next to him. We're in a town of 500,000, population is 500,000 here in Tulsa. We walked into that casino and sat with free tickets by my friend. Tell me that ain't God or the universe or law of attraction. I mean, I just sat there and I just smiled. I'm like, thank you, God. Thank you. This is amazing. You know,
How many of you got the chills? Drop a C in the chat.
Yeah, I had the chills, man. I was just sitting there just smiling. I looked at Heidi, I was like, no way, dude. That's Carl sitting right beside you. That's my buddy right there.
So you asked me in a text, what's next? What's the next level, right?
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things, there's a couple of devices I'm going to have you purchase to be able to get the heart coherence in place. But your next level is to always tell a story that gives chills.
All right. I like that.
That's it. That is your biggest job, is even if it's, oh my gosh, I walked into Piggly Wiggly, and they had my favorite pork butt on sale. Are you kidding me? I was just, and it's what I'm going to use my grandmother's recipe. Can you say hello with such enthusiasm? People are like, wow, there's cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Something's up here.
Yeah, and I got it with my little buggy, the little mini buggy. That's right. I could put the little pork butt in my little mini buggy.
But that is a perfect example. This is, what do I say? You guys always hear me say, your life will become magical when you start having these stories where you won't believe what happened. Do you think that was hard with all of the things that God has done? Do you think getting some free seats next to your friends really a problem?
And it's not Clinton, Arkansas, by the way.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that would still be cool in Clinton, Arkansas. Don't get me wrong.
Right. Yeah, no. I hear you. Population 245. Chances are a little bit better. I might know somebody here.
Absolutely.
That's so cool, isn't it? And so what you have to use that, though, is that is an evidence file.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And the more you tell that story, what does it do? How many of you believe more in the possibility of possibilities now because you heard that story? You're like, oh, it does work. I mean, we know him. And we know, and he's not trying to pitch us on anything. This is your subconscious working. He's not trying to pitch us on anything. He's not trying to sell us anything. He's just saying that if you want what you want, you get what you want.
Yeah.
And there was no, he had placed the order with the universe, like Michelle says, and then didn't go, well, maybe we're not going to get the tickets. Maybe they're not going to let us in. Maybe, well, we'll see. And you go with the intention of, well, if it doesn't work, I'll be okay. He went with the intention that it's going to work, which is a much different Brad than just years ago.
Yep.
And the biggest lesson, the biggest way, and I have to give him credit, is that the way he learned more of this mindset, it was in the most challenging channel of mindset he had to deal with, was building the relationship back with his son. You've all heard the stories. Walks up to the front porch and tells his wife and the stepdad, "Thank you guys for being that." And they're like freaked out. That was what Bert Goldman would call a source foundation. That changed everything. That rung a bell that couldn't be unrung. But there'd be times where he'd have to be going to court, and I'd say, well, you want to go in and do that? I don't want to go do that.
It's not what I want to do.
I would encourage you to do this. And then he'd come out and go, how'd it go? You know how it went. Congratulations, Brad.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful journey to be on, and you're an amazing leader. Thank you for showing up every day like you do.
I'm getting better. I'll knock the rust off.
Oh, here, one more thing on my job. Really cool. So I was in a place a couple weeks ago, which I signed an NDA, so I can't tell everything, but I can tell enough to where you'll know what's going on. There's let's see what words I can use. There's a massive job coming to the state of Oklahoma for the aerospace for a large company, and they're bringing $500 million worth of manufacturing to Oklahoma. And it's this one, Horizon's the company. They build a lot of airplane parts. And so my job is to go around and find manufacturers who have the 3-axis, 6-axis capabilities to support what they're trying to do, so they can offload this work and could create massive waves of job opportunities and finances and stuff. And so we're sitting in there, and we're at the vice president of the OMA, got the state, I don't know, Secretary of State, some one of the officials, and we're talking, and she goes, we're gonna get the governor in here on our next meeting next month in July. We'll bring him in. If he can't come in, we'll bring in the lieutenant governor. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, this is kind of cool. I'm from Arkansas. This doesn't happen, but it does, dude. It happens.
So I would go find out what the hobbies are of the governor and the lieutenant governor so that you could speak about them.
There you go. Hey, why I keep you around, Sean.
Find out what their hobbies are, find out what their passions are, find out what charity they donated to, or what charity their spouses love. My dad was brilliant. He would run every program, every opportunity, every contest for the wives.
Mm-hmm.
The guys had to do the work, but the reward was wife based. It was a trip. It was a spa. It was a this. And he would let the wives know that this was the monthly contest or the quarterly contest. Because you know what happens with salesmen that are national? You may talk to them every day, but their wives talk to them all day.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find something that their spouses are very passionate about.
I like that.
Just saying.
What's Michelle's favorite chocolate? I forgot.
She doesn't necessarily, she likes a Hershey bar. She's not much on the fancy stuff because she's from Polk County, which is, Clinton, Arkansas in Florida. She does like a massage. And we
Does she?
found a place in Cersei, and not in Cersei, in Conway that, yeah, they
Me
walk on her.
Text me her place, please.
Okay.
Love you, Sean.
Love you, brother. Anyone else thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways? Good. See, this is what I do. This is what I get to do. I get to help you in ways you're like, how does he even know how to? He doesn't do what I do. No, I do what you do without your title. I move people. Period. End of story. I move people, and there's not a position, a title, an environment, a community that I don't know how to move people, because all I know is how to move people. You just have a different pry bar. You guys are all wanting to pry people into something they're not used to doing, and that's okay. We have to sometimes use a pry bar. I'll use a carrot and a whip too. I show you how to make your pry bar less painful. Okay. I love you bunches. Have an amazing Monday morning. Tonight is the Life Navigator workbook. So we'll see you all there. And I'm your head brain training pry bar moving misfit. I'll see y'all where?
The next
At the next event.
The next
Yeah.
event.
I love it, love it, love it. Somebody give me some Costa Rica.
Pura
Pura
vida.
La vida.
Ah, Vida, we love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with
Peace
you.
be with us.
Be with us. Tell them, Seamus, peace be with us. And the I got your back, Jesse Lee Ward.
Boss Lee.
Boss Lee, we love you, girl. All right, everybody. We'll see you tonight. Have a great day. Enjoy and share a smile and get 10 back. Bye for now.
Thank
Guys.
you.
Love you all.
Thank you.
Love you, family.
Have a great day.